Hi everyone, my name is Kendra Wyant. I am a clinical psychology student here at UW-Madison. I just completed my first year in the program. I work in John Curtin's Addiction Research Center, where my project right now is working to predict when someone will lapse with alcohol using their cellular communication logs, like their text messages and their voice call logs. And so to build a model that can predict when someone will lapse, I have a ton of different features that I'm working with, and I don't really know which ones are most predictive for lapse. So what I can do is I can put all of the predictors into a single model and use regularization techniques to actually help me determine which predictors are most useful, and then I can either remove or penalize other predictors that are less helpful. And so there are three types of regularization. That is lasso regression, ridge regression, and elastic net regression. I'm going to be covering these with everyone next week. And there's a lot of ways these could be useful. For example, if you have a lot of predictors relative to the number of observations, which in psychology that can often happen, regularization can often help prevent overfitting. And so what happens when you overfit your model, you're actually taking noise in that data as signal. And so when you approach new data, your model doesn't do as well as you thought it would. So next week I will be covering a real demo of using regularization. And it's hard to cover this without also introducing some other machine learning concepts. So I'm going to try to introduce as many as possible in our short time together. And if there's anything we don't get to go in depth on, I'm happy to discuss more about it outside of our time together. I'll also be providing some resources. To prepare for next week, I would suggest watching the YouTube series I have posted and reading the first 10 pages of the Yarkoni and Westphal article, and maybe looking over the blog article to get a little more information about overfitting. And so in programming, there are often different styles or different style guides for different languages. One of the more widely adapted styles in R is called Tidy, and that's what I use. So I also provided some resources you might want to just look over if you're not familiar with R and Tidy, and because that's how I'm going to be approaching our code next Wednesday. I will say I am really excited to lead the data workshop. I myself am a prep alum, and I really enjoyed the data workshops when I took the program. So yeah, that's about it. Look forward to seeing you next week.